Let me say what most women won't. We come back. Not all of us, not always. But enough to make you ask why, now why, her why, after she walked away. And if you're sitting there hurt, confused, rebuilding, still trying to make sense of what happened, I want to give you answers because I've been her. I've left, I've rejected. And yes, I've come back and I'm going to tell you why. Every detail, every mindset shift, every emotional wave. This isn't pickup advice, this is emotional x-ray. Let's break it down piece by piece why women come back after they reject you. 1. The rejection was never about you. Let's start here because it matters more than you think. When a woman pulls away, rejects you, most men spiral, they internalize. It was I not enough? Was I too available? Did I mess up something I didn't even see coming? But let me give you a truth bomb. Most rejections are not about you. They're about timing, capacity, wounds. We haven't healed yet. We might say you were too nice, when the truth is we were too used to chaos. We might say we're not ready for something serious, when the reality is we're terrified of being seen. You showed up steady, honest, present, and that scared the hell out of us. Because when you've only ever known conditional love, real affection feels like a threat. So we push you away not because you're weak, but because we are. 2. After rejection, you stop performing, and that's when she really sees you. This is the part that stings. When you were chasing, you were everywhere, texting, complimenting, initiating, trying to prove your worth. And we liked it on the surface. It made us feel wanted, desired, but the moment we rejected you, you pulled back, you went quiet. And then something strange happened. You stopped performing and started being. And when we looked back at you without the flattery, the constant energy, the validation, we saw something new. A man with boundaries, a man who didn't beg, a man who chose himself. And suddenly that made you more attractive than ever. Because women don't miss the man who chased. We miss the man who walked away with dignity. 3. We don't expect you to heal without us. Let me be honest with you. When we reject a man, we assume he'll fall apart a little. We expect him to linger, to wonder, to keep the door open just in case. But you healed. You started going to the gym. You stopped watching our stories. You started posting photos with friends, laughing, living, thriving. You stopped orbiting our world. And the moment we saw that, we felt it, that slow, aching burn in the gut. Because whether we admit it or not, part of us wanted to be your motivation, your muse, your turning point, but you healed without us. And that stings more than any breakup. 4. The other guys don't measure up. Here's a truth most women won't say out loud. We try to replace you, not because we're cold, not because we didn't feel anything, but because we think we can do better. Sometimes it's ego, sometimes it's delusion, sometimes it's fear of sitting alone with our own guilt. So we download the apps, go on the dates, start entertaining guys who say all the right things, but they don't feel like you. They don't make us laugh the way you did. They don't read us like you did. They don't bring that calm masculine energy we didn't know we needed until it was gone. And slowly we stop comparing them to you and start comparing you to them. That's when the shift happens. We don't come back because we're bored. We come back because we realized you were the standard and we didn't even see it until we lowered it. 5. She wants to know if you're still available without asking directly. Now this is where you have to stay strong, because when we come back, we rarely knock on the door like adults. We don't say, I made a mistake, I miss you, I wasn't ready then, but I am now. Instead, we like a photo, reply to a story, send a meme with a laughing emoji, a breadcrumb. Why? Because if you respond, we get our answer. You're still there, still open, still orbiting. But if you ignore us, if you stay silent, if you hold your ground, that's when it hits hard. Because the moment we realize we lost access to you, that's when we feel the weight of the rejection we handed out. 6. Time reveals what emotion couldn't. Let me tell you something about hindsight. It doesn't whisper, it screams. Time doesn't just pass, it clarifies. We see you differently now because we've lived without you. We've dealt with dry conversations, surface-level attention guys who say they want us but can't handle depth. And now we remember that one Sunday morning where you brought coffee, sat on the couch, and asked, how's your heart today? That small moment haunts us. Because now we're dealing with men who only ask what we're wearing, not what we're feeling. And you weren't flashy, you were safe, and we're just now learning how rare that really is. 7. She's hoping you haven't changed too much, but fears you still have emotional conflict that eats us alive. We want to reach out, but we're scared. What if you're not who you were anymore? What if you moved on? What if you met someone who actually recognized your worth before losing you? That thought, it wrecks us because deep down we want a second chance, but not with a version of you that's gone. Not with the man who now has a wall where his heart used to be. We want the man who loved us, but we're terrified to find out that man doesn't exist anymore, and maybe that's what we deserve. 8. Guilt shows up as control sometimes. When we come back, it's not all sweet words and sentiment. It's control, subtle digs, passive-aggressive jokes, power plays masked as flirting. Why? Because guilt turns into defense, and defense turns into manipulation. We feel bad for hurting you, so instead of admitting it, we try to reframe the story. We want to be in control again, to feel less vulnerable. But if you stay calm, if you don't feed the power game, that's when we either grow up or give up. And either way, you win. 9. The test. Will you go back to who you were? Here's what we're really watching for when we come back. Will you fold? Will you drop everything and say, I missed you so much? Will you abandon your progress just to feel connected again? Because if you do, we feel it. We sense the desperation. And as much as we crave the comfort, we don't respect it. But if you hold your frame, if you stay calm, steady, unapologetic, if you say, hey, good to hear from you without overextending, we feel something else, admiration. And that's when we realize you're not just the man we rejected, you're the man we underestimated. 10. Sometimes it's real and it's too late. There are moments, rare but real, where we come back and we mean it. No games, no power trips, just truth. We grew, we healed, we realized. And by the time we do, you've moved on, and we have to sit with that. Not because you were petty, not because you tried to make us suffer, but because you did what we couldn't, you let go. And that's the moment we realize we didn't reject you. We rejected our chance to grow beside someone who already saw us clearly, and we won't admit that to anyone. But it stays with us for years. Final reflection, let her come back, but you choose. So what do you do when she comes back? You listen, not to her words, to her energy, to her actions, to her growth. Is she here because she's lonely, or because she's different? Does she want you, or just the version of herself she used to be with you? This isn't about revenge. It's not about playing cold. It's about power. Your power not to punish, but to discern. Because women come back for all kinds of reasons, but not every reason deserves your attention. You get to decide, you get to say, not this time, or if we do this again, we do it better. She came back, but now you choose not, because you're bitter, not because you're arrogant, but because you grew, and you're not going backwards ever again. If you like this video, I recommend you watching this next.